You got it rolling? Okay. I've been studying rocks since I was a kid, about 10 years old, and it started at Malure Bay in New South Wales, where the white quartz down there was beautiful and white, and now it's all fractured and brown, and I've proved that it's the wind farms in New South Wales, namely the Bungendore one, but there's several, that are fracturing the quartz and letting the magma rise up to the surface. What I've proved with two rocks from Malure Bay, and anyone can do this, you take them to Canberra, and there's a positive and a negative to the sides, and an old-fashioned set of Baker scales, not digital ones, the old-fashioned spring one. You can work out that they actually get heavier when you weigh them at a wind farm because the sky's been depressed. Whereas when in Canberra, the ones I did the example on are 1.2 and 1.199 grams when you turn them positive negative. But when I weighed them at Bungendore, 1.204 grams, and at the seam of quartz at Malure Bay, they were 1.205 grams. Now, everyone's going on about Yellowstone, but believe it or not, Malure Bay is the next place where Australia's going to have a volcano. The rock magma is rising up, the gases are coming up through the quartz, you can see it. Anyone who lives in Malure Bay all their lives would tell you that in the 80s or older, the quartz used to be white. Used to go swimming and the quartz was white underneath you on that beach. It's now a dirty brown because it's full of acid. It's all fractured. The seam of quartz is fracturing, and volcanic gases are leaking up. And essentially, that's what's causing the volcanoes is the wind farm. It makes the light rise up, and over in the northern hemisphere where everyone's got nuclear power plants, it's where all the bolts are shearing off. That Weeping Willow too on YouTube. She's covered the story. There's a lot of things that are going on that the mass media won't advertise. Anyway, the plutonium and everything is leaking in Japan. It's leaking in America and it's leaking in Europe. What's happening is it's going up to the magnetic field and reacting with the sun. The senders, which is this one, it's a lovely light grey magnetic field. This is pumice-stone, it's volcanic ash that's captured by the ocean, but it's accentuated and it's got a receiving side. It's mostly sending, whereas this piece is a receiver. It's all soft and chalky, and everything grows on it. Rocks that grow mould or moss or oysters, they're receivers. This is your rainmaker. Now, you can get this one, tip hot water on it, make that one hot, which will make that one cold. It's that simple. They do talk to one another. So it's not just pumice stone off the beach, it's valuable. And Yellowstone house, the yellow, the pink, and the grey has been painted with cinder, and the red and the blue has been painted with a receiver ground up inside. It's very light active. Getting back to the rain, this is leaking and being captured by the receiver, and the senders are going out towards the solar flare. Every time a solar flare comes out of the sun, you've got a solar flare coming out, and you've got the receivers going to meet it, the senders, sorry. Okay, so this one's getting seriously hot, which is making this one on this side get seriously cold. And therefore it condenses, captures all the heavy metals into manganese and nickel, and creates heaps and heaps of rain. And it's because of the chain reaction from wind farms pulling the sky down, nuclear power plants leaking because of the rising light, and the plutonium, cesium-137 and all the heavy metals being burnt off by the senders that are going out towards the sun. And the receivers are getting the cold signal because this one's getting the hot signal, and that's why we're getting the rain. In order to stop that, we need to elevate the sky as much as we can. We need to shut down these wind farms. The nuclear power plants are just so dangerous, they've got to go. The replacement is sewage. We've got to stop fracking, wind farms and nuclear power plants.
With
And replace it with sewage is anything. It's not rocket science to realise that. I'm going to move. It's not rocket science to realise that there's no shortage of shit. So, can you read that? Is that all focused? I really need a girl with a nice handwriting to do this. Anyway, now to the invention. My house is on top of the Cedar Quartz at Eden, New South Wales. It's an extinct supervolcano. Now I've deliberately made the sky on this side higher than what it is on this side. This represents the northern hemisphere, where the sky is quite short. In the southern hemisphere, from the Antarctic, South America, even India, because it's on the northern hemisphere, but it used to be part of the Antarctic. It's got a high sky because the land is deeper. And it seems the quartz are longer. Now, this house is built right on top of a fault line in the middle of Eden in 1880 or something or other, with two chimneys on one side of the fault line and one chimney on the other side. And it receives light into the fault line. Now, how I proved that is I painted the hallway with all these flower boxes with pink, green for the leaves, yellow for the handle box, and red for the flowers, the roses. And by the time I finished doing the entire hallway, I didn't like it. It looked shit. I was inspired, wanted to do it, did it, and it didn't look good. So I thought, oh well, I'll just paint them gold and go from there. And I noticed that the green paint on the leaves in the decorative ceiling was absorbing the gold paint beautifully, sucking it in. But the yellow was refracting it. And I'd have to paint it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and I couldn't get the paint to stick to the yellow because the yellow was receiving light from the fault line underneath. I didn't realise this until I went to the end of the hallway because the gas from the gold paint was just filling this room. I couldn't get the wind to take any of it out, so I had this fog in the hallway of the house, Yellowstone, what I call Yellowstone House Eden. Now, when I looked down the hallway, I saw the light spinning in the fog. It was coming off the yellow. So a lot of the ceilings in my house are painted with yellow ceiling paint with gold on top to capture the mantle light and make it refract and go back down. Effectively, this can be used as a light refraction from base to treble because volcanoes run on base and treble crystallises them. Effectively, I've got it, I call it the mantle refractor base treble converter. Now, that's the reason why I've got all these figure eights on the house in gold, is because it accelerates. Now, I've got a light meter in the hallway. When she's sucking light in, the light meter drops down like this. And sometimes it'll do this or it'll do this because one side's sucking the light in quicker than the other. But when it's pushing light out, it'll straighten itself out and go like that. It's a huge long pipe that I stuck in the hallway. I've painted with gold on both ends with pumice stone paint on the ends of it. And effectively, she tells me whether she's sucking light in or pushing light out. It's at 31 Mitchell Street, Eden, across the road from the service station. It's very brightly coloured with pink, grey, red, blue, and grey. I already see grey. I think I've got them all. Yellow. So, that effectively is why we're getting all the rain throughout the world. And the solution is to get rid of these things. Get rid of them. It's that simple. But it's big business. But if they had a quarter of the rain, they'd invest into sewage and keep their profits going without harming the planet. Now, my invention, my plan is is to move Yellowstone House to where the sky is at its worst. Right. It's a huge crystal. It's like the end of a cue stick. You've got this beautiful cue stick with all this power, but if the nib isn't any good, the ball won't go. You've got to have a good nib on the end. So this is like putting a nib on the end of Yellowstone Park, where effectively we can elevate the sky, bring the sky around here, take the pressure off the mantle, the rising light, the magma chambers that are coming up, and crystallise them by taking the pressure off, by pushing out the light. And light, sound and gravity waves to prop up the sky and take the pressure off. But there's a lot of things that need to be done, and let's face it, I'm Chicken Little. I am a nobody. I'm just an accountant that has an interest in geology, so I need some people with political clout that care about the planet to support. And I don't have a huge budget. I'm just a mum and dad, so I need Hollywood or someone to back and help me out with this situation, because it affects everyone. And I've got this invention that it needs a concerted effort to be able to dig up an entire crystal and move it the other side of the world and put it on a seam of quartz from Eden to the Yellowstone National Park in America. So I'm asking for help. Thank you very much. See, whales. We shouldn't be killing whales. They're singing this actually rainbow making. Right? The more the whales die, the worse the planet is. So we've got to look after the whales. And everyone can grow flowers and tip coffee grounds on their footpaths or whatever. Coffee grounds, I forgot about coffee though. Coffee grounds helps to make the land vibrate to create clouds, which will also crystallise volcanoes. I forgot the coffee. Anyway, that is the duck's guts of it. Can you put that on my Facebook page?
This whole thing's going up there.
Brilliant. I shouldn't have rubbed out the nuclear captains and the wind farms, but it was more dramatic. They gotta go.